Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, June 5th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, APLD. Been tracking this one on a very routine basis, and today, very, very impressive move. If you watched yesterday's video, then hopefully you remember me talking about kind of this overall pattern here that had formed, but you can see this morning price gapped up, broke through there, and then a very powerful opening 30 minutes. And then the rest of the day has slowly been creeping higher and higher. So long way of saying yes, great day. And now there's definitely some cleaning that needs to be done, or some updates. Let me clean these lines out of here. They don't really pertain anymore. And I don't want to risk causing confusion and clutter because there's lines everywhere you see. So let's try to keep this as clean as possible. So first key dynamic to watch, what I'm very curious about now is this area of resistance. So as the price has gone, it's essentially formed this bit of a trend line right there, which is illustrating the resistance levels. And at the same time, we have that line right there. So let me change that to green for support. And this is what I would call a rising wedge. And a rising wedge is a bearish pattern. Now, let me be very clear. Just because something's a bearish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go down. So, before you get too upset, nobody's saying that it's for sure guaranteed it's going to go down. But this is a bearish pattern. And as of right now, as I speak, the price actually come down below here. So the main question that I have moving into tomorrow is this rising wedge, is this movement right here a leading indicator of more of a pullback to come? Now, again, before you freak out, let's say it is. Let's say the price pulls back here and then does that and then curls back upwards. Now, emphasis here on big picture. From the big picture perspective, what would you have? Well, you'd have a set of lows there, down here. And if you envision each one of those as stair steps, what do you have? Well, you'd still have stair steps making progress in the upwards direction. Now, I get it. If you're a day trader and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 10 minutes, well, then yeah, from that standpoint, this would not be a good situation. But assuming you care about the bigger picture point of view, like I said, even if the rising wedge does create a push to the downside, there's still plenty of opportunity where the price could build an overall higher base. But as right now, that's my main question mark moving forward is we have a rising wedge. The price is broken down below the rising wedge. So is there going to be more pullback to come? Next one here, we're taking a look at CLRB. Penny stock here with a whole lot of volume and ultimately have a nice overall pattern here. Now, again, overall being the key word. So if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 3 seconds, well then yes, to you the chart looks absolutely terrible. But assuming you care about the grand scheme of it all, we have the area of resistance right here as what I would consider the top part of the pattern. And then on the flip side of things, we have this nice upwards trend line right here. So let me change that to green to represent support. And then just to make everything the same color, let's keep it, make everything easier to see. Let's make it the same color. So we have resistance, we have support, we have the big upwards move right here. For you golfers out there, put the golfo down here. And this would be a bull pennant pattern. Now, like I just mentioned, just because something's bearish does not mean the price for sure going to go down. Same issue here. Just because something's bullish does not mean the price is going to go up. But would it be shocking if the price came up here and broke through there? That would not be shocking at all. Again, not guaranteed, but certainly a more than valid question to throw out there as a potential scenario. So if you like bull pennants, you like penny stocks, keep an eye on it. Next one here, NVTS, and I'm going to go through this one very quickly because you literally heard me just talk about it. But yes, we have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. So I want to respect your time as much as possible. And given you just heard me talk about this, there we go. Change that to green. And then just because I cannot help myself, let's keep it the same color to make it easier to see. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the nice upwards move right here, we have the golfo down here, another bull pennant pattern. I'd say the biggest difference here is this one is not on a penny stock. So if you prefer to stay away from penny stocks, but you do like bull pennants, here you go. Next one here, KWM, and once again, we have ourselves a bull pennant. Some days you have a whole lot of the same type of pattern, and this is one of those days. So if you are a lover of bull pennants, well, then you're going to have yourself all sorts of choices on Thursday. So there is our resistance, there is our support, there is the upwards move right there, golfo down here. So you've got ourselves another bull pennant pattern. So, and if this thing breaks out, again, no guarantees, but a high volume break of this level right here, I could see realistically, again, high volume break. I could see the price potentially trying to make a run up to those highs that it had over here. But again, step one is it's got to break above that level, and then step two, got to be more of a higher volume break. So we'll see what happens. Next one here, NVIDIA. Overall, good solid day, especially when you factor in that opening 30 minutes where this thing, it was coming down very strong. At one point, the price was actually all the way down there, but you look at it now, and the price has recovered very, very nicely. So yes, from a bigger picture, not a whole lot happened because it's still within this range that I'll show you. But looking at today, just individually, good solid recovery. Assuming you're now, if you're a bearish person, you were short right there, then yeah, today not good. But from the long's point of view, things are still hanging in there, even if maybe today it didn't explode to new highs or anything like that. So in that regard, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that level and just point out in the near term now that the ideal level of support, when you say, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? That would be if the price could stay above this trend line right here. With that being said, if the price falls below there, that doesn't mean the chart's destroyed or ruined or anything like that. But if the price could stay above it, that would be a great sign. From the bigger picture point of view, though, keep your eye on this purple line right here, the 50-period simple moving average. Keyword being moving. So as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher. So from the overarching level, as long as the price stays above that line, where the line is moving higher and higher, well then by definition, the price is going higher and higher. And that's what you want to see from that regard. So preferably speaking, stay above the trend line. But if it doesn't, you still do have that moving average right there. In terms of areas of resistance, keep an eye on that area right there around the 142.50 mark, which would basically put it at highs that have not been seen for a very long time. But all in all, especially when you factor in how NVIDIA started today, good solid day. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description area you can use. Or if you're watching at my website, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. Next one here, BBAI. And yeah, you guessed it. Like I said, today is the day of, well, you could probably call this one a bull flag if you really wanted to. In fact, yeah, I think that's probably more accurate. Now, if you want to call it a bull pennant, I'm not going to get in a fist fight with you over it. But the psychology is the same, so let me just map out, just to make sure everybody can see it. So we have our resistance. We have our support. We have the upwards move here. So, like I said, bull pennant, bull flag. Technically, sure, they're different. But like I said, the general philosophy is the same. There's been a big move up. There's now some consolidation. And now it just becomes a question of, is this consolidation going to lead to another leg up? So we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, bull flag on BBAI. Next one here, MULN. First off, there was a reverse split on this one. So no, you did not get rich. I realize this was trading for much less than what it is right now. But again, there was a reverse split, which is just a manipulation of the share structure done by the company. So if you want to learn more, then I guess search my channel. I do have more videos on the reverse split. But sorry, don't get your hopes up. You didn't just become rich because the share price is much higher here. But the price did have a good solid day after, the day, the reverse split. All the way up here. Now, as I speak, actually, this is a pretty rough final 30 minutes right here. But nonetheless, let's map out some key levels here. So first key level to watch from a resistance standpoint, nothing too fancy here. You can see that right up here around 25.35. And I realize the price did a couple times go above it. Other times went a little bit below it. But generally speaking, right up here, this general area, 25.35 is going to be where the sellers seem to be hanging out at. So that'll be a main level of resistance moving forward. In terms of levels of support, the level you'd like to see hold ideally is that pink line, the 200-period moving average, right now valued at $15.50. But if you're watching this video and you're saying, well, Clay, actually the price is broken down below there, not the end of the world, certainly not the greatest thing you want to see. But the next level you would want to check on is, okay, well, where's the price at relative to 13.15? If the price is broken down through the pink line and through 13.15, at that point, things are starting to look much shakier. But like I said, as of now, as I speak, the price is still, to be fair, hasn't even tested the 200-period moving average. But it is looking like maybe that's a possibility. But nonetheless, keep your eye on these levels moving forward, and we'll see if the volatility continues into Thursday. Next one here, HOTH. And I hate to do it to you, but some days, like I said, they're just like this. We have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. So like I said, if you just love yourself some bull pennants, well, you have so much to choose from. So there's our resistance, there's our support, there's the big move up right there. So you have penny stock bull pennants, you have dollar bull pennants, which you have right here. You have ones higher than that. So truly, you have a buffet of bull pennants headed into Thursday. Next one here, PLTR. Very, very crazy start to the day when even going back to yesterday, you had this big old drop here. So when you factor in that context, actually a very, very impressive day for PLTR as it's, battled back and sure hasn't, gained back all those losses that it had, but it certainly made a good fight. And I'll take the liberty to speak for all longs. I'm sure all longs are like, well, not to mention, this action here is way better than having this thing just continue to bleed and bleed and bleed. So on that angle of things, very solid movement here. And now it's just really a question of two key levels. Preferably speaking, if the price could manage to stay above the purple line there, that would be an extremely impressive sign of strength. But by no means a must hold. You do want to see it hold above the pink line, though, if it goes back down to there, which is why this was actually starting to get pretty sketchy because the price at one point had dropped down below that level. But yeah, it did ultimately recover back up very nicely. So again, preferable level, staying above the purple line right there at 130.40. I'm not going to call it a do or die level, but certainly a way more important level would be that pink line, the 200 period moving average, valued at basically 127. In terms of areas of resistance, nothing new here to report. Still all about that level right there, which sits right at the 133 mark. But like I said, all things considered, good solid day here for PLTR. Next one here, TSLA, and I guess all the ironies. We started with a bearish pattern, and I guess we're going to end with one because that's what we have here, and we have the opposite of what I have been talking about. So in this situation, we have this area of resistance right here. To be fair, though, the price has been creeping upwards throughout the course of the day, so that needs to be a support. But the thing is, well, we need full context. So yes, you have an area of resistance coming down. You have an area coming up. But what was happening before this? Well, you had this big move down right here. And then if we put the golf hole up here, this is actually an upside down pennant, which makes it a bear pennant. Now, to reiterate again, just because it's a bear pennant does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go down. But it is certainly more than reasonable to think that if the price were to come down here and then break, that break right there could create downside selling pressure. Again, not guaranteed, but it is certainly a more than valid question to throw out there that a break of that level could create some selling pressure in the downwards direction. So yeah, headed into Thursday, Tesla is looking at a bear pennant on the 30-minute time frame. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about the tool and how it should be used, then definitely get signed up for the free class. It'll be very soon, Thursday, June 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Keep in mind the Eastern time. So definitely go get signed up, and I hope to see you there. And as far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, make sure you hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. I have been live streaming, so if you're interested in seeing me trade live, come hang out, ask me questions, or just hang out during the day, then yes, you can do that. But in order to make sure that you know when I go live, got to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. So thanks for watching. Make sure you get signed up for that free class. Have a good one.